It's your girl, Mrs. Tony Two Times, and I'm back with another episode of Hood Tales. In this video, I'll be taking it to Birmingham, Alabama to discuss the 2020 slaying of 43-year-old mother of one, Kanisha Fuller, who lost her life after Alfreda Fluker, the girlfriend of the man she was seeing, caught them together. But before we get into this video, please hit the like button if you're rocking with our content. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and join the Tony Two Times family. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Also, if you'd like to see more episodes of Hood Tales, please click the link to the playlist in the description box after this video to get caught up. Finally, be sure to share this video with everyone you know and watch until the end to hear the whole story. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. According to UrbanDictionary.com, a love triangle is when two people both love a third person, and that third person often loves them both. The object of their love may be conflicted as to whom he or she wants. And according to Hilly.com, every triangle has 3 points. 1 point is a person who is in various stages of involvement with two others. The other 2 points are those who are in a competitive relationship with each other, whether they know it or not. Both are vying for the affections and love of the same person. Most of the time, infidelity is the root of love triangles. A certain level of understanding is required to knowingly be involved in a love triangle, which heightens the possibility of developing a romantic rival. Then on the flip side of it, 2 of the 3 people in the love triangle don't even know each other exists until that one day when someone starts to become suspicious. In April of 2020, 39-year-old Alfreda Fluker had been a dedicated part of the Birmingham Police Department for 15 years, working her way up to detective. She was assigned to the department's crime reduction unit. The mother of 3 daughters had also been in a relationship with Mario White, a fellow detective in her unit. They started dating in 2015, and by 2016, Alfreda had been living with Mario at his mother's place. Alfreda described her and Mario's relationship as exclusive, while Mario kept his options open and saw other women. Alfreda began to grow suspicious when a series of events started to take place. According to Alfreda, Mario had asked her to run the name Kanisha Fuller to see if it came back with any warrants. She ran the name but thought nothing of it at the time. Alfreda claims that she saw a car drive by their place one morning and there was a woman driving who was looking hard as she drove by. Alfreda didn't recognize the woman and said she took a picture of the vehicle's tag number because she found it odd. She said the encounter made her uncomfortable. She wondered why the woman was looking so hard. Did they take her to jail or somebody she knew? After running the tags, Alfreda said the name came back as Kanisha Fuller, the same name that Mario previously asked her to check out. Alfreda asked Mario how he knew Kanisha, and he told her that she was a friend. But what Alfreda didn't know yet is that Mario and Kanisha were having a relationship for a little over a year. On the night of April 10th, 2020, Alfreda and Mario got into an argument because he was leaving their home in Birmingham late at night. At around 10 p.m., Alfreda said Mario took a shower, took a Viagra, and then put on cologne as he was getting ready to leave. Mario told her he was going to his cousin's house in Bessemer. According to Alfreda, they got into a verbal altercation about that, which led to a physical altercation. Alfreda said Mario had pushed her into the dresser, then held her back with his arm to her throat, and then threw her into a wall. Mario then left the house, and Alfreda decided to get into her car and started tracking his whereabouts on an app on her phone. Mario would end up at his cousin's house in Bessemer, but only stayed for about 15 minutes, according to Alfreda. She continued to track him down, which eventually led her to Germania Park on Birmingham's west side. Alfreda pulled into the park and saw Mario's work-issued Dodge Durango and a white Jeep belonging to Kanisha Fuller parked side by side. Alfreda said she parked her car and walked in between Mario and Kanisha's vehicles. At first, she thought they were having a conversation from separate cars because Mario's window was all the way down. Instead, Alfreda said she saw Kanisha and Mario being intimate in Mario's truck. Kanisha saw Alfreda and then said, "What the bleep? What the bleep is this?" Alfreda said Mario then pushed her to the ground and, in her words, hauls butt out of the park. Alfreda then went back to her truck and pulled her weapon and started firing at Mario's truck. She fired a total of 15 times. Mario left the park, but then reversed and came back into the park. Alfreda said Mario waved at her to come to him. While all this is happening, a bloodied Kanisha is in the passenger seat of Mario's truck, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Mario was not hit. According to Alfreda, when she got to him, she exited her car with her weapon still in her hand. She said Mario snatched the weapon from her. He was upset and they started arguing. He asked her how she knew where he was. She said he threw her on the ground and into the truck. As Alfreda and Mario were arguing, residents living nearby the park heard the shots and saw two people arguing. Alfreda said when she got up off the ground, she noticed Mario in the passenger side seat where Kanisha was. Alfreda said they got into it again, and she told Mario that Kanisha needed to get to a hospital. She claimed Mario said no, she can't talk, and he couldn't leave her truck in the park. They argued again before Alfreda then leaned over to the driver's side and said she asked Kanisha, "Baby girl, you okay?" She said Kanisha responded, "Yeah," by moving her head. Despite Alfreda's attempt at compassion, she left the scene and didn't call anyone for help. After a shot spotter alert picked up the shots fired and calls from witnesses, Birmingham PD arrived at the scene and found Kanisha critically wounded inside the unmarked Birmingham PD vehicle assigned to Detective Mario White. At 11:51 p.m., Kanisha was rushed to UAB Hospital, where she later passed away from her injuries. In a preliminary investigation, Mario told officers that it was a group of black males who participated in an attempted robbery, but later admitted that it was Alfreda who was responsible for Kanisha's slaying. The following day, on April 11th, 2020, Alfreda was arrested at her mother's home without incident. She was booked into Jefferson County Jail and held without bail. Alfreda's weapon, work phone, and laptop were never recovered. Alfreda was ultimately let go from her position in the Birmingham Police Department. Mario later put in his resignation at the police department. He was never charged with any wrongdoing in Kanisha's case. Kanisha Fuller's family wanted justice for her. Kanisha was a devoted mother and was heavily involved in her community and the people closest to her. She lived in Bessemer with her teenage son. She had a big smile and a generous heart. Kanisha graduated from Winona High School. She was a track star, earning the nickname Nightmare. She ran for a track team and earned many medals, trophies, and accolades. She attended Alabama State University on a full track scholarship. She later attended Lawson State Community College, where she studied cosmetology. Alfreda was ultimately indicted and tried in court. Her first trial was declared a mistrial. Her second trial took place in November 2022. Alfreda's defense was that her actions that night were a result of a crime of passion. However, the state said that it was Alfreda's anger that led her to shoot 15 times at the passenger side of Mario's truck where Kanisha was. Mario White gave a different version of events. He said when he got to his cousin's house that night, Kanisha texted him to meet at the park to talk. When they met up, they talked in separate cars for about 15 minutes before Kanisha came to his vehicle, where they continued talking about her catering business. And that's when Alfreda showed up and everything transpired. Alfreda testified that she didn't know Kanisha prior to the incident and testified that she lost it when she saw Kanisha and Mario together in the same work truck she rode in all the time. She wanted to send a message to Mario. Alfreda said she wanted Mario to know to stop playing with her. Alfreda said she spoke to Mario after Kanisha's slaying and he told her that he loved her. Alfreda Fluker was found guilty of slaying Kanisha, and a few months later, she was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Alfreda showed some remorse and apologized that her actions caused Kanisha to lose her life. By the time Alfreda was convicted, Mario moved on to be a police officer at an HBCU. May Kanisha Fuller continue to rest in peace. My belated condolences to Kanisha's family. I hope that they got some closure. I know Alfreda's conviction only holds the person responsible, but doesn't bring Kanisha back. Two families were tragically affected by this situation, and their lives have changed forever. All over what? Both women involved with this man have lost their lives. Kanisha will never see this side of heaven again, and Alfreda will spend the rest of her life in prison, while he continues to live life as a free man. Fam, I'll leave the rest up to you. What are your thoughts on this in the comments below? Do you believe that Alfreda's actions stemmed from the heat of the moment? Was she really just trying to make a point to Mario? And if so, what good would that have done? All right, fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you all so much for watching and making it to the end. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and I'm out.